Thank you for joining me. Welcome, welcome. So 3 days ago, I made a video titled, "She says VTubers are offensive to Japan, but Japan doesn't care," regarding this person, Rin, who made a really weird thread about VTubers being yellowface, and then also talking about policing people's ethnicity and a number of other bigoted things like that, which I pointed out very reasonably in my video from 3 days ago. And if you haven't checked that video out, by all means, please consider doing so. I'll link it in the description. That way you can see for yourself that, at least in my opinion, I discussed her takes and her bigoted points, in my opinion, very reasonably. And I even tried to agree with her on some points, like her point about Shinto. I just said, it seems like you're reaching, and like, please give me a better example. But apparently that was too much. Instead of, doing something like that, she decided to freak out and say a bunch of nonsense on Twitter and even like destroy her own business and give it up or something. I don't know. It's bizarre. Let's take a look. So thank you very much for the tag, Haru, and thank you for the screenshots as well. Haru saying, small update, there was more to this thread, and she is trying to shift the blame on Hirohei, despite getting flack from actual Japanese people. We're obviously going to take a look at what she's saying in those screenshots. However, before we do, that's a great point by Haru as well. And on a similar note, if I recall, her thread had already well over 600,000 views before I even talked about it on my channel. Alright, now let's go to the screenshots and see what she was saying. For those of you who don't know, a YouTuber made a video for clout out of one of my threads. They doctored what I wrote in the initial screenshot for clickbait, and then proceeded to read my tweets with disingenuous commentary, twisting my words horribly out of context. Horribly, with all caps. Ooh. I'm gonna address all that. Before I do, quick side note, I feel slightly bad reading this stuff because this is on her private account now, like she is in protected mode, private mode or whatever. The fact is, though, like, people in her own responses are blaming me for stuff that I did not do. Some of them are suggesting that I should be sued. One of them suggested that I get shot over this. So yeah, I'm gonna address this stuff. Now let's continue. So going back to her initial claims here, she says I made the video for clout, which is not true. She doesn't have any clout to be gained. It was just a bad take that I was tagged to. People wanted to hear me talk about it, and I want to talk about it too. So I did. She then says I doctored the initial screenshot for a clickbait, saying that she never said those words and acting like it's a complete misrepresentation of the point that she made when she said that VTubers are yellowface. And this caused some of her followers or whatever to accuse me of like lying in the thumbnail. So let's address that really quick. Obviously, I can't fit her entire take in the thumbnail. That's absurd. Her take is like multi-tweets long. A good thumbnail should relate to the video. It should be catchy. It should get to the point. And my thumbnail is all of those things. It condenses that premise regarding the claim of VTubers being digital yellowface, because yellowface and blackface are both racist. So the thumbnail is perfectly acceptable for the job that it has to do. Anyone saying otherwise would therefore then basically be on the default position of trying to say that blackface and yellowface are not actually racist. I think that'd be a pretty unwise position for them to take. Then again, perhaps it should not be surprising for them to take such a stance, considering that they were already on the position of policing people's ethnicity. Rhetoric reminiscent of things people tried to use to justify some of the worst atrocities committed throughout human history. Back to her take, she says that she has been wondering why she was getting even more hatred than normal, erasing her Japanese heritage, body shaming her, etc. This explains everything, she says. Nah, you ain't blaming that all on me. You already had a ton of backlash from people way before my video even started. Continuing, she says, all of that bullying I am unfortunately used to, but someone actually making a fake screen cap of my tweet for clickbait? Oh, she's still on the screen on the thumbnail thing? You know why she's addressing the thumbnail so much and none of the points I actually made in my video? It's pretty clear. Like, the points I made are solid and she can't actually address them, which is fine. All she had to do was admit like that her take was bad and maybe she has a new perspective or something, right? Like, it didn't have to go down like this. I never said like she had to even... I never even said anything out of line. That's the crazy thing. Again, like, if you haven't seen my video, please do consider checking it out, as I already said in the beginning, because, like, I was pretty reasonable about everything. And as I said, I even tried to agree with her on some points. So her acting like this is extremely immature, bizarre, and indicative that perhaps some people really should stay off social media. She says, I am genuinely heartbroken that this has happened. My threads are never anything more than attempts to educate. Oh yeah, because it's so educational to say that VTubers are all racist, yellowface, like, oh yeah, it's super educational, great job. Not like you just insulted a bunch of innocent people who did nothing wrong or anything. Plus, as other people pointed out, there were a bunch of Japanese people also disagreeing with some of the other stuff she was trying to say about Japan. And there was nothing educational about her making like giant straw man arguments about VTubers and like weebs or whatever that was about. Like, I was literally laughing in my video because it was the most absurd stuff that she was saying, like weird straw mans. Also gotta love how I did indeed censor her username, which she does admit, but hey, that's not good enough. As I said before, oftentimes people just literally want us to not talk about their terrible takes. They'll make any excuse. Oh, censor the username. Oh, the username's censored. Oh, you didn't censor my profile pic. Oh, username and profile pic are censored. Oh, you didn't censor the display name. Oh, you censored all that. Well, people can still just use the search function on Twitter with the words in my tweet, so you're still bad. She then says, this level of bullying is too much. I can't take it. I really can't. I'm sorry. I never even wanted my platform to become a platform. At first, I just wanted to vent my frustrations with racism. Yeah, you're doing a great job with that by trying to imply that yellowface and blackface are not actually racist or whatever the heck that's about now. And bad weeb takes about Japan. I never once dreamed I would have 10,000 plus followers. By the way, Rin, you're the one that started this. Like, Rin is the one who decided to, on her own accord, make some nasty tweet making inflammatory, terrible statements about VTubers that did nothing to her. So, like, it's really ridiculous for her to now act like she's the victim, like she did nothing wrong when she's the instigator. My gosh. And while I'm grateful for the friends I've met on here, I can't handle this. It's too much. This is going too far. I am a living person with feelings, and if you found me through that person's video and thought hate following me would be fun, screw you. Rin, this might be a shocker to you. I really hope it's not, but it might be. You're not the only person with feelings. You understand, like I said, once again, you instigated this, you started it, you insulted innocent VTubers who did nothing wrong. Those VTubers are people, they have feelings, they didn't deserve that. This might be like a controversial statement, but I also don't think I deserve people telling me that I need to be shot and sued over this either. Just, I'll throw that out there. I don't know if I'll ever come back. I once dreamed of growing my kimono business, of doing more with this. But this has broken me. It truly has. I'm sorry to everyone who said I made a difference. I want to believe that, but I don't anymore. My gosh, I'm starting to wonder if, am I in a parallel dimension? You'd think this was about, like, some catastrophe that occurred, right? Not that this was over some like ridiculous tweet she made about weebs and VTubers and then got like backlash from some people. And now she's like giving up her kimono. Like, what? You're giving up your kimono business over this. Are you kidding me? Were you not serious about running that business to begin with? Or alternatively, were you expecting to just like make a bunch of inflammatory takes hating on people thinking that's how you grow your business? And like that's not working out so well? Like I don't understand. You shouldn't be giving up your kimono business, in my opinion, if that's your dream. Like that actually makes me sad. I don't want her dream to like end. How about this, Ren? How about you stop with all the extremist weirdo rhetoric and you focus on your kimono business? And I actually hope that goes well for you. I love seeing people do well in business and stuff like that. That's awesome. So yeah. She then says her final goodbyes and thanks all the Nikkei and mixed Nikkei that she met on twitter.com and also other Asian diaspora that she met, thanking them, saying that meeting them was life-changing and that she's glad she is not alone, saying that that sharing their life experiences and connecting over them was lovely. So yeah, once again, I think all of that was really unnecessary. The initial take was unnecessary. The way she handled this response and everything, really unnecessary. I hope she ends up dropping all that bigoted extremist rhetoric. Like, that stuff is turning her mind into mush, man. It's sad to see. Hopefully she'll drop all that stuff and just focus on running a successful business, and if so, well, I hope that goes well for her. Now, moving on. Hero, hey, why do you literally slander people for views on Twitter? What's wrong with you? She didn't say this, and she is literally descended from Japanese diaspora. Your YouTube videos encourage people to harass her off the platform. Even if that wasn't your intention, you should have known better than to literally lie about someone's words to a massive platform. Didn't lie. Are any of you going to address the actual points I made? No? Okay, thought so. Keep in mind that libel is illegal, and there's a reasonably high chance that she could sue you for this, considering she used Twitter to promote her kimono business. You have no idea what you're talking about at all. Just stop. This isn't a threat, a call for a witch hunt, or anything else. This is a warning. Your warning means less than nothing. I highly doubt she will bother suing you, but you should be careful with this kind of stuff. I don't make tweets calling people out randomly for this stuff lightly. Oh, I'm scared. I'm terrified. Again, this is a warning to you and people like you. You're going to get sued someday. Well, first of all, you should really take your own advice, dude. Second of all, if that ever does happen, I'll handle it the same way I've handled people maliciously copyright striking my channel, by lawyering up and beating them. Hero Hey is scum who harasses people for money and doesn't care what happens to them when he misconstrues their words to his Nazi fans for them to go rabid over. He doesn't belong in your community. Take out your trash, anime YouTube. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, great job calling my community, which is a very diverse community. It's got plenty of Jewish people, plenty of LGBT people in it, but go ahead and call them all Nazis. That's a great look. So now we know that these people are on the side of defending yellowface and blackface, the side of policing people's ethnicity, and now trying to also smear innocent people as being some of the worst people to ever exist. Wonderful job. Sure is interesting how there's a routine theme with all these people. None of them have addressed the points I made in the video, and many people who have tried to literally cancel me, like unironically, like straight up try to cancel me and failed, they do the same thing. Like, they'll make videos about me too, not addressing my actual points, pulling stuff out of context, and or just literally lying about stuff too. And I think more and more people are starting to notice that, because I've seen even haters over recent months becoming subscribers to the channel. So that's awesome. Thank you all for the support, whether you're a hater or were ex-hater or never were, you know, appreciate all of you. This is great too. We've got Parallax responding to Cap4, the dude, the Collins dude or whatever, who was calling you all Nazis. Parallax apparently agrees with that. That's a wonderful take, Parallax. Yes, falsely accuse a bunch of people that include Jewish people and LGBT people of being such. That's a great look. Good job. Most of you probably don't know who this guy is, so I'll give you quick context. He's basically a dude who has spent years and countless hours trying to cancel me just to fail every time.
I still want to hold on to the hope that perhaps some of you who are fans of his may change your minds and see him for what he is. Just a reactionary grifter. He doesn't deserve any of you.
Man literally tries to get my subscribers to unsubscribe from my channel, unironically. Like, who says that? I just want you to understand. He doesn't deserve any of you. You know what? That's so funny. I should use that as a subscriber thing. Like, that would be a great motivation for people to sub to the channel. Thank you, Parallax. You gave me a great idea. So yeah, if you like the segments that I make, please consider liking and or subscribing. There'll be plenty of content for you to enjoy, and you'll upset that guy. Now let's take a look at his actual take. It's pretty hilarious how incapable this dude is of even making a slightly decent point, let alone a good one. So yeah, this is just so absurd. No, I did not lie. We already talked about the thumbnail thing as well. And then he's accusing me of harassing people off the internet. Like, he's implying I harassed Rin off the internet. If he even read her statement, the very end of it says that she's leaving Twitter and going to other social media platforms. I did not show that tweet because I don't want to show where she's leaving to, like where she's going. But she literally said she's just going to different social media platforms. She's not leaving the internet. Furthermore, I never harassed her. I gave a very reasonable response to the public bad take that she willingly made on her own accord, and I'm more than allowed to do that. I also love how he constantly tries to imply that I harassed someone else off the internet, because if you didn't catch that, he was implying it happened before. And that relates to a claim he tried to use against me in his previous cancellation attempt, saying that I harassed some girl named Mara off the internet. And basically, Mara made a couple of YouTube videos that never really got a lot of views, and then one day she made a video about me. And in that video, she did basically accuse me of supporting maps, something like that. I forget exactly what she said. And when I'm saying map, I'm not talking about a map in a video game. I'm talking about the abbreviation for people that harm children, some of the worst people out there. So obviously, I would take umbrage with that and want to address it. But for some reason, Parallax got mad at me for that. And he's trying to say that I'm like a bad guy for that, when any reasonable person would understand why I would, want to respond to such a thing. Long story short, I responded to Mara. I think she then responded to my response or something. I forget what all went down, but it ended up with her not using that YouTube account anymore after people saw, her bad take and whatnot. So for one, she was never harassed by me. She's actually the one who came at me, and I responded to her insane claim about me. So let's get that straight. And the other thing, to say that she was harassed off the internet is such an absurd, ridiculous thing. It shows how desperate this guy is and how willing he is to gaslight his own followers too. Because obviously, just because she never decided to use that YouTube account anymore, it doesn't mean she just never can use the internet. She probably just stopped using that YouTube account. But yeah, go ahead and try to say that she was harassed off the entire internet. Whole thing is so ridiculously desperate and pathetic. I have to endure my fair share of dogpiling by his fans. Bro, your fans, first of all, I'm going to give them credit because a lot of your fans actually came to my video and apologized for your behavior when you tried to cancel me a year ago. So that was cool. But some of your other fans were literally making fun of my dead dad. And also, you have a dude who has a website. This is your boy. Your fan has a website advocating people to file false police reports about me in the United States, and also just spreading a bunch of lies, advocating harassment for me on this website. And on that guy's website, he's directly trying to fund Parallax. He's got his Patreon there. He's subscribed to Parallax's channel. So this dude is in no position to talk about anyone's fans being out of line. None of what I said is a lie. Anyone who watched this content from 2019 would have known this, and yet very few listened because you're a liar. And you're way too over the top and extreme and weird. There's so much wrong with this guy. he gets away with it again and again because he had cultivated a fan base that enabled his behavior, and he gets rewarded doing the stuff he did every single time. So you can excuse me for feeling vindicated to be proven right after having to put up with his fans' BS for months. And then he says context, and he links back to that Collins dude, the dude who was trying to say that all of you were basically members of the Third Reich. So yeah, great job, Parallax and Collins. Yeah, you're really looking great, and you're making us look awful. Well done. Round of applause. Moving right along, we have this person, Rara, who I think was friends or is friends with Rin or something. So this person, Salter, links my video to Rara, and then Rara tries to dismiss it because of the thumbnail here saying that it's all made up, despite the fact that it is not. But yeah, Rara doubles down here, and it's just hilarious how fearful these Twitter cops are of addressing my main points. Like, they're gonna do everything they can to dodge those points, it seems. So yeah, that's pretty much the situation. I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comments. I think this was a pretty good example of how desperate and just pathetic Twitter cops are, and how quick they are to get bigoted too, man. Like, so many of those Twitter cops are just bigots, as we saw here, and well, as we've seen plenty of times before. So yeah, let me know what you think about all that once again. I look forward to seeing you in the comments, and of course in the next segment tomorrow.